So, Google's new AI cooked us. Okay? Google VO3 confirmed the end times.
I'm sorry, what do you mean we simulated whether or not ChatGPT and other AIs would kill us if they knew that we were going to shut them down and they did?
The insanely rapid advancement of AI really does make all of this kind of feel just like a waste of time, doesn't it? Talking to people, going online, going to work, and for a number of reasons. But
I don't understand why we're in such a rush to replace all of the work that humans have done. At what point does this cross an enormous ethical line? Again, we're not talking about works of fiction here. We're talking about literally rewriting history.
Creating... I'm sure you've seen plenty of AI-generated content by now. It's taken over almost every part of our life, from our Google searches, to our music, to students looking for a quick out on an assignment. Now, I'm not going to come in here and try and ride a high horse like I've never used AI before. I've used it twice, and that's only because I couldn't write a concluding paragraph to save my life. AI has become the new hot-button topic for people to argue about. And after seeing the 8,000th AI slop video on my feed of random celebrities wrestling in a WWE ring, I can quite honestly say that I'm sick and tired of it. Not to say that I'm not sick of the WWE as a whole, but that's a different story for another time. My therapist knows all about it. But AI has become something of a monster with its environmental impacts, and we have to cover it before it becomes too late. Actually, before we begin, I feel like I do need to cover something important. You may know me as the kid that played with wrestling figures, or talked about lost media, or uploaded that one August is Falling song. So why exactly am I talking about AI's impacts on the environment? The answer is pretty simple. I'm being forced to by the curse of being a college student. This is a video assignment for my English comp class. Got it? Cool? Cool.
Graham, what do you think of AI?
Do you know how much power goes into a single AI search? More than 5 times the power it takes to do a simple Google search. An MIT writer named Adam Zui wrote a really interesting article on this topic, which will be linked in the description below along with the rest of my sources, all about the amount of power that AI has been consuming. AI has been growing rapidly, and that becomes a problem because nobody wants to be the one responsible for slowing down the production of something that's new. AI has gone from consuming over 2,700 megawatt hours of power in 2022 to over 5,000 megawatt hours in 2023. And currently speaking, AI is taking up the same amount of power as countries such as Japan and Russia, and if that doesn't concern you, then it really should. And AI is only going to continue growing into a monster. I've devised a plan that will hopefully help with a few things. A, I'm worried that this video is going to be a little sad, especially when we have to start talking about him. No, not now. And B, I'm a little worried that I'm not funny. And if I'm not funny, then you aren't laughing. And if you aren't laughing, then you're not going to watch. And it's important that you continue watching this video because AI is going to continue to infect every part of our lives until it destroys us. So, in order to help with that, I'm inventing a new segment called Mason Rambles About Things. If you haven't noticed already, I am trying to parody Pat Finnerty's hit series What Makes This Song Stink. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job at it. I mean, sure, I don't have the cool intro or the social skills or the comedy skills, but no, I'm doing fine. Remember what I said at the beginning of this video? Not to say that I'm not sick of the WWE as a whole, but that's a different story for another time. My therapist knows all about it. Can we talk about that for a second? Because I feel like my therapist is sick and tired of hearing me talk about it. Don't worry. I promise this relates back to my main topic because WWE uses AI to book their shows. Allegedly, although it's pretty easy to tell. As a wise CM Punk once said, listen up, you bald fraud. Look, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 5 years old. I've been with it my entire life. Like, the amount of money that I have spent on these stupid action figures. This is an AEW figure. That should show you how much money I've invested into wrestling as a whole, that I have an AEW action figure. Not to mention all the WWE figures that I own. Like, I mean, seriously, what are we doing? Like, did you even watch Survivor Series, Paul? Like, what are we doing, buddy? Like, that was one of the worst book shows I think I've ever seen in my entire life. But I can't leave this. I have too much money put into this hobby as a whole. Again, look at my wrestling figures. Like, just look at my YouTube channel. I have videos upon videos of action figures. I can't leave this. It's got me in a chokehold. But seriously, can you please just listen to your fans for once in your life? Like, you know we want Drew McIntyre and LA Knight in the World Championship scene. Just do it. There's nothing stopping you. And now, instead, we have to watch Jey Uso and LA Knight fight the same 3 members of the Vision for God knows how many times. Like, your company is so pathetic, you don't even have a third babyface to fight the Vision. You just kind of throw people into matches like it doesn't matter, which it doesn't. You've already made all the money in the world. You're in deep with Saudi Arabia and friends. Like, I mean, you've made all the money. You don't care. Just have fun. Like, you're actively making your show worse for no reason. Like you'd make more money if you just actively did what we wanted. You know what? I feel like I'm getting a little bit too heated here. You want to go back to the video? Well, let's go back to the video. Unfortunately, when we talk about AI, we do have to talk about the men that are in charge of running these data centers, and that does include Elon Musk. Yes, the man that held up the chainsaw for democracy while also simultaneously hitting a Nazi salute in the span of like 3 months. Yes, Twitter's AI, Grok, has become the one thing that Elon swore to destroy: woke. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of videos of probably white men arguing with the Twitter robot. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. Twitter isn't the only thing that Elon's been ruining. He's also destroying the air of Memphis, Tennessee. In an article by the Southern Environmental Law Center, they detail how the XAI data center in Memphis, Tennessee has been destroying the surrounding neighborhoods. And what you need to understand is that XAI and any other type of data center normally targets poorer neighborhoods because they can promise whatever they want, essentially. The promise of jobs and money and God knows what else sounds really appealing to these smaller neighborhoods that don't have a ton of money. And as soon as they agree to a contract, they roll in and start destroying things. And the town can't really do anything about it. The neighborhoods have long been targeted by industrial polluters, including a steel mill, a now shuttered coal plant, a utility-operated gas power plant, and an oil refinery. The result is a long legacy of environmental injustice, high asthma rates, and a failing grade for air quality from the American Lung Association. And would you believe me if I told you this wasn't the first time Elon had been caught destroying the environment? He was actually sued for a similar thing in Texas. Texas, of all places. Do you know how hard it is to get sued or fined in Texas? The only thing harder to do in Texas is make an NFC championship game. You know what? I'm starting to think this might not have been my best idea. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting in my dorm room talking into a microphone that everybody can hear, and I feel like a complete and utter embarrassment. No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. What does Pat have that I don't have? Amps? Ignore the fact that that's an Epiphone. I'm not spending that much money on a Marshall. Okay, what else? Dunkin' Cup? I mean, we have one on campus, but I don't really drink coffee, so I guess this WWE Outsiders Bojangles Cup that I got when I went on vacation in North Carolina would work, so... Up you go, buddy. You know what? Maybe I do need to go outside. It's 25 degrees outside. Why am I doing this? God, why did I think this was a good idea to put this in a video? Like, I already have enough social anxiety as it is, and now I'm walking around like this is normal. But, my parents did say this would be nice, get out and go on a walk, would help with like my mental health and stuff, and they're not wrong, but filming it feels weird. But I am smiling more, but that might just be because it's 25 degrees and the wind chill is freezing my cheeks into a smiling position. Just get back to the video. So outside of the ethical usages of AI, which is a war between students and schools that will never end, AI also takes up a lot of valuable resources that we are now in short supply of, one of these being water. As someone who lives on the East Coast, I don't really have to deal with water shortages, but if you live in a West Coast state, or if you live in a more farming-heavy state, you've probably seen stories about low water supply. AI is expected to take over 1.7 trillion gallons of water to cool down its data centers by 2027, and is currently using the same amount of water as Denmark. A country you think about so little, you didn't realize that's not Denmark. This is Denmark. This is a very big problem because we've already seen in states like California and Nevada that have already been experiencing water droughts. And this also affects other countries around the world that don't have access to clean water. If you find yourself thinking, well, doesn't the water come back down anyways? Yes and no. If you've ever been stuck inside of a science class, I'm sure you've seen that stupid picture on how the rain works. And while yes, technically rain does come back down, if the water shortage is in California and the rain comes back down in Michigan, that doesn't really help anybody. So the question that leaves now is, how do we fight against this? While this goes against everything Pat Finnerty stands for, I do need you to click the links below and do all of the normal YouTube things. I'm talking like, sharing, and subscribing, of course, because we need this video to spread as much as possible. Secondly, to all my Gen Z viewers, go out and do what you do best, protesting. You guys love to protest, and at this point it is becoming more and more critical that we protest against this government and against these big companies that are actively harming us for no good reason. And to any of the lawmakers that actually made it all the way through this, and you better have made it all the way through this, I did not send this video to all of you for none of you to make it this far. Please, for the love of God, do not let Trump institute his policy where he will not allow states to regulate AI. Because at least let Massachusetts decide that it doesn't want AI to kill us all. Like, that would just be nice. Please, for the love of God, stand up to him. You stood up to him with the Epstein files. Can you do it now to, actually save us? And once again, please click the links below. I've linked some great resources that will not only help inform you, but will also help go and support real artists. We need to do everything that we can to stop AI before it is too late. Well, we're back at the desk again, which means the video must be over, and you know what? I don't feel too bad about this. I mean, I'm pretty sure I did Pat Finnerty a service without, ripping him off too badly. What about the big thing? What? Like August is falling and that Stop the Train protest. Whoa, dude, calm down. I don't know, man. I already feel like enough of an idiot as is. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting next to an Epiphone and a Bojangles cup. And now you're telling me I gotta do something big to end this thing? Do you know how cold it is outside right now? I'm not doing that again. I feel like you should be talking to your therapist about this. No, do you know how big I made this seem when I was pitching this thing? That's like half the reason I did this project. When was the last time you took your pills? Wait a second. Wait, that's it. Episode 3, Beverly Hills. That ended with a realization that growing up sucks and everybody has to do it. So maybe I just need one of those realizations for myself. I mean, I've been negative this entire time about myself. I'm a little worried that I'm not funny. And you know what? I'm starting to think this might not have been my best idea. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting in my dorm room talking into a microphone that everybody can hear, and I feel like a complete and utter embarrassment. I mean, sure, I don't have the cool intro or the social skills or the comedy skills, but... And you know what? I've got a month-long break coming up. That's enough time to make another video. Maybe this video was a good idea. Maybe I needed this. I think I can do this. I think I can make another video. Let's do this.